My name is Jay, and we're going to be talking about the sociology effect, rejection sensitivity, and Zeigarnik effect. In order to survive, it is imperative to build relationships with others. The people who are most successful in life are not only those that can set and pursue goals, but are also able to resume activities after interruptions. The need to belong is a basic need, and having this need of belongingness is a powerful drive within the human consciousness. So how could you explain that we don't always love everyone, even when we see them on a regular basis? The sociology effect is a pattern that research describes as a person becoming more bothered by their partner's annoying habits with repeated exposure. The concept of this theory is based off of the analogy to allergies, in which people will experience increased symptoms due to prolonged exposure to allergies. If I was allergic to dust and I stayed in a dust-filled room, I would start to sneeze. If I continue to stay in the dust-filled room, my symptoms will worsen, and in this case, I will eventually get a runny nose. The same applies to a relationship, according to the sociology effect. My relationship with my best friend is a prime example of the sociology effect. My best friend Alex and I have known each other for about 7 years now. We have good conversations and we understand each other, which is why we are still good friends. Early in our friendship, I was slightly bothered by her inability to see others' perspective. Over time, I started to notice that she spent a lot of time talking by herself and always diverted conversations back to herself during group settings. I was beginning to respond with negative attitudes toward her by interrupting her more often. My relationship with Alex is a prime example of the sociology effect, in which the longer the relationship continues, the more bothered I would get with her minor habits. The more repeated exposure I get, the more negative emotion resulted. Although forming relationships is essential for survival, being rejected repeatedly can play a huge role on how you form relationships with others. Rejection sensitivity is the tendency to expect rejection from others and to become hypersensitive to possible rejections. When I was younger, my parents could not afford many things, so I would always go to school wearing donated clothes. When I was 5 years old, my classmate Jennifer would always bully me for looking like a boy. Jennifer would tell me no one would ever like me, which took a big toll on my self-esteem. As I got older, I became very timid. My classmate Ashley started to bully me because I was introverted and never stood up for myself. I remember there was a morning I woke up early to do my hair and Ashley pulled up all my hair ties when I got into class. I remembered going into the bathroom to cry because I felt so unworthy. These rejections throughout my life have made me develop a barrier around my feelings to prevent myself from getting hurt. I would alienate myself from my friends to avoid getting close to them, and I behaved in ways that drove my friends away. I now have a tendency to be overly sensitive to possible rejections, which is a prime example of rejection sensitivity. While it is important to be able to form relationships, being able to resume activities after interruptions is imperative to being successful in life. When goals are not completed, the duplex mind is put to work and notifies the unconscious that there are uncompleted tasks. People will experience what is called the Zeigarnik effect, which describes recurring thoughts that a person will receive to remind them to get back on track to reach their goal until it is completed. While studying to pass my exams, there are many things that aren't part of my goals, such as walking my dog, doing laundry, getting groceries, and many other tasks. It's normal to get distracted at times. It happens to all of us. Interruptions to your goals produces a Zeigarnik effect. Even though I move on to other pursuits, the unconscious part of my mind is constantly reminding me that the bigger goal still needs to be completed. Without the help of the autonomic system, I would not be able to implement my goals. By trying to understand why your friends or family may act hostile towards you over time, what it means to have rejection sensitivity, and how the mind works to get you back on track once you've been distracted, maybe we can work on improving our relationships and becoming more efficient in reaching our goals.